good gaming morning. Whether you're tossing dice, flipping pages, stroking that brush, or mashing them buttons, we have your six on all things gaming. My name is Loki, and this...
I'm Eddie.
And we are Basement Quest. And today's show, we had a 5-star review.
Our first review,
and it was a 5-star review. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And he brought up...
we're not sure.
Yeah, exactly. He or she.
They brought up
one of our favorites, TMNT, part of the Palladium line. And more importantly, before we came on...
A collector's item, first of all. This book is out of print.
Yes. So this is what started it all right here. Before we even came on, we were talking about this. I was walking through Norwich, and they had this old comic book store, and my friend Jason was with me, and I just so happened to pick up this book, and I remember it was $17.99 on the back, and well, now it's, whatever it is, 12 something. It says $12.95. But then it was like 17, and I thought it was like a comic, and I'm going through here, and I didn't understand it. We didn't have enough time, because we're running. So I put it back, and next thing I know, Jason goes rolling in there. He picks it up for me and hands it to me and goes, "Happy birthday." Well, little did we know what he started, because then we started playing this game. And
a lot.
We enjoyed this game a lot.
Still one of my favorite campaigns ever. Like,
yes.
We had a big, obviously, if you're familiar with Robotech, it has a pretty epic storyline that people still talk about to this day.
We still had a live-action movie, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
The rights have been bought and sold and thrown around so many times.
There's
wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio at one time? Tobey Maguire owned it,
Leo
right?
might have been part of it, but
I think somebody. I thought I heard Leo's name getting tossed in there,
This
too.
license has an interesting story.
It does.
Yeah, because it's owned by a Japanese company who did the original TV show, which is not related to Robotech.
Right.
3 different shows. So 3 different companies, I guess, own those shows. And then Harmony Gold licenses it put it out as Robotech. And now it's owned by some company. And it's one of the reasons why you can't get this game anymore. There was a second edition. We never played the second edition, sadly. But this is everything you need, really, for it's a fantastic game.
For the first generation, as we call it, all the characters are in there. All the mechs are in here. The fighting is fantastic. I just the missile bursts, the action, the fight scenes for what this was back in the day was freaking phenomenal. So now we fast forward.
And here's the thing with this game. I just want to throw out before we move on with Robotech. This was the perfect intro to Rifts. Like, if you want to start playing Rifts, this was a great way to introduce the mega damage system.
Good, yes.
As opposed to the STD,
structural damage and then the mega damage, yes.
So the mecha was all mega damage, and obviously the people are structural damage. So you were basically wearing a big suit of armor.
Right, exactly. And just to throw a little fun story out there, our buddy Rob.
There's that name again.
Was Stryker... What was his character?
Well, my character was Ryan Stryker. His character was, oh my God, what was it?
Because Lars? Was it Lars? Lars something, right? Wasn't
it?
Sticks. That's what it was.
Sticks Marie.
Sticks Marie. And then he changed it to Lars Marie, right? Because he died like that. So long story short, he's out there as a character, and he's running out of this because I think didn't his mech blow up or something like that. So he was trying to run back.
Which time?
Yeah. So he's trying to run back to base, and a random missile hit his character, and that was mega damage to us. What was he, 50? Well, he had max because his guy was jacked. So I think he had 125 structural damage.
He had boxing, every athletic skill. Rob's got a talent for grabbing every athletic skill.
He does.
Getting the most jacked Arnold Schwarzenegger looking character in his prime.
Absolutely.
And I know you stretch the rules a lot because you've been hit with, I think you rolled 1 mega damage.
Yes.
It was like a terrible damage roll. And it's well, I'll say 1 mega damage is 100 SDC. You're barely alive.
Yeah.
You're toast.
So he got cybernetics and all this shit. But it was the first time that we actually really we introduced that in this system.
And let's not forget, it seemed like he shot us more than he shot the enemy. He just kept rolling one failure after another. But you know what though, it was all part of the fun. It was part of the shtick, and it's he would come in like, oh, dude, I'll go in first. Oh, no.
Yeah. Missile barrage. Oh, no.
It's like, what happened to your mecha? Stick shot me again.
We're down, dude. We're down again.
But no, this is what really started it. And even if you're not into role-playing games, the art in here at one point, this was the only real guide you could get to some of the
lore.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the
Long
SDF on the back, dude. The details of the
incredible.
SDF is just absolutely freaking incredible.
that-
That's like that is pinnacle. This right here is just pinnacle Robotech right there. Your the Veritech fighters, dude. I mean, they're just sick.
Guardian mode. The original Kevin Long art in this book is just
It's spot on, dude. It's spot on.
And
if you've ever watched the series, it is on point, man. If not, even more detailed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
it gave names to a lot of the stuff that we didn't know. I mean, because in the show they didn't really get into
Right.
VF1A that much and stuff, and
Right.
the different add-ons to the Destroids and stuff. Because there's some things in the show that are only in there for like a hot minute.
right.
and they
The
threw them in
monsters.
game.
You have six, like they have a scene where 4 of the monsters are going like this. And
Yeah.
that's it. That's all you see of a monster.
You see it-
but then you read about the monster in
like,
this thing, and it's
holy
fucking
cow.
devastating, dude.
It
That thing
totally
is-
take down a building.
Oh,
or,
easy.
like-
It's sick. It's sick. It's just
And-
4 cannons and then 2 freaking arm cannons.
I still
Yeah.
love looking through this book to this day. It's just, it's
the
fantastic.
art is fantastic.
And then
so,
there were supplements, which I have some of them, but that's
second generation, third generation. We have all those books too.
This is
So-
what really started it for Palladium, and
Yes,
our
I
love
agree.
of comics made this next game a
Right.
non-starter.
I would have to say our mutual love of this comic really made this special.
Yes.
Super special. So,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness.
and Eastman and Laird,
Did a lot of the art in here.
exactly. If you guys
Original art.
old school comic book lovers,
Even
know,
had a comic
right,
inside
you
as a
know
bonus.
Eastman Laird. They're graphic
getting back
novels.
together, by the
Yep,
way.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is really, and they had a falling out for a good while there,
Yep.
and it's sad because they created one of the most iconic foursomes in the world. I mean,
The best villain.
yes. Shredder, absolutely. The Foot Clan.
Best anti-hero, in my opinion,
Yes,
with Casey Jones.
Oh yeah, great, absolutely great. So now you take everything that you love about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you throw it into a Palladium system, and now you can make mutants. And like he said before, this is a good introduction to Rifts because now these guys are also a part of fucking
Oh
Rifts.
yeah, because there's mutants in Rifts, and this game eventually evolved into the After the Bomb game after they lost
That's
the
right.
license. But the mutant creation rules are incredible.
Yeah, they're like absolutely spot
You
on.
know,
Like
I
you get-
remember I one of the first times we played, and you were like, "So what are you gonna play?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna be a weasel."
Yes.
And you're like, "What? I'm gonna be a weasel." So I rolled up a weasel, and
Yeah.
we had some fun with it, and it's just you can give your character its own little distinct personality, just like we were very comic centric,
Right.
Obviously, there was the TV show, but we were more comic centric, and obviously you can't help but joke around, like say dude a lot and pizza, whatever. But it was such a fun game, and this was really
Wasn't
before-
this was one of the ones that you also? It was one of the first ones you GM'd, right?
Yeah.
Because
GM'd
we
a couple
flipped
times.
it. Yeah, we flipped back and forth. So this was the first time that you actually stepped from a player to a GM.
Yeah,
And this
because this one I rolled into Ninjas and Super Spies.
bingo, yes,
And
yes.
this was probably the first game that started getting into more of the martial arts aspect, and I think Ninjas and Super Spies really
Just brought
expanded
it.
on
Oh,
it.
they brought it to the
And
next level.
If you get a copy of this game, get a copy of Ninjas and Super Spies, and
use that.
incorporate those martial arts into the game, make it even better.
It'll make it fantastic, exactly. Or just do the opposite. Make yourself a mutant and throw it in fucking.
And you don't even actually with this game, you don't even have to get into the martial arts part of it. You can just have like a army of elephant mercenaries. Like it's just like.
No, I mean, you can absolutely go. Yeah, you can go absolutely wild with this thing. You can, if you wanted to, not say like make the Ninja Turtles itself. If you wanted to make
Their stats are in here, by the way. You
Yes.
can play them.
Yes,
if that's what you want to
if
do.
you want to make a crack team of like literal Ninja SEALs, you know what I'm saying, that work for the Navy, you can.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, it is out there and it's so easy. Everything is the one thing. Like I think we've brought this up plenty of times with Palladium. You can just grab that one book and play.
Yeah, you can just
You ain't got to worry about nothing else.
They did have some supplements. I have a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could find more of them. There's just some adventures, Ninja Turtles adventures, more art by Eastman and Laird in here. Guide to the Universe, which gets into some sci-fi stuff.
That one was cool.
Yeah,
that one was really cool because then you start bringing in like a lot of the alien races.
You can tell how old this book is. The pages are starting to turn yellow here. So.
That's why I was like, when you found this the Robotech, I was like, oh my god, that's in great shape.
Like I said, when these started to go out of print, I tried to score as many of them as I could. Oh, the Triceratons.
Oh yes, I love the Triceratops race.
Another
dude.
bonus comic thrown in.
Well, Krang was in that, and all his little robotic.
The species was the character of Krang was a TV show.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying that species, the robot people were up in there. Like that's as far as supplements go. That's stuff that you like as a supplement. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You want stuff that adds to it. We brought up last episode about the new D&D supplement that they're bringing out, and it turns out all it really is just
it's the Critical Role.
It's the Critical Role's world,
and
it's his guide to their world and their deities and everything that they created. So essentially, it's if you yourself wanted to create something in his world, it gives you the aspect of doing that.
Right.
And like I said before, I love the aspect of having everything in one book. I love the aspect of having an open world at your fingertips and being able to create that world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can take New York City from, say, zombie apocalypse and just have it go from there on. Or you can take it from 60s New York City and be back in, the Prohibition days with the fucking old school cars. I've
always wanted to do something like that.
Like a gangster feel, right?
Like I'm sure there's games like it, but I've always like if I were to design a game, I would want some kind of time traveling game, and I'd like to have supplements for these. Wouldn't that be fucking?
Eras. You got your little fucking crew coming out, and they're all dressed up in like the mafioso with the fedoras and shit. You got like a bull. You got like fucking, like a tiger, like a panther or some shit like that. They're like,
Well, I remember I was doing my Ninjas and Super Spies game back in the day. I was very gangster centric.
Yes.
I'd always have that element in there because it just you'd have the the super high-tech criminal organization, then you'd have like the low-level street gangs, mobster types, because
they're always going to be there. Yeah. There's always somebody that's trying to make the quick buck.
They're always going to be there causing trouble is what it is.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You got to be there. They may not be the main focus, but
it's always a good thing to go back onto. It's something to give you a little side mission on and something to, pick up on that.
Yeah. One thing too with this game is you don't necessarily have to be the hero either. Like
no,
you can be the mutant.
We've talked that. Yeah, we've talked about that before, and that's one of the aspects of actually making your own campaign. Is you don't have to make a good campaign. We've done evil campaigns. I've actually done an evil. We've started off good, and it's like at halfway point, these guys ended up betraying member their party, and they just turned evil anyways.
Like these books give you the Zentradi stats.
Yeah,
you could play the Zentradi.
You can play the Zentradi. You can actually take it from the side of the Zentradi facing against, the RDF. REF is later, and then RDF is the defense force because they're attacking us.
Expeditionary force.
Yeah. It's funny they say expeditionary and they end up fucking killing more than they did in the defense force, but we'll leave that one alone. Every time they put expeditionary force, it means murder. It's
every time these tree hugging hippies try to
Robotech murder force.
Tree hugging hippies try to take over the government. This is what happens.
This is what always happens.
And then more people end up dying. But so I think honestly, personally, first generation Robotech's been my favorite. Although we had a lot of fun with third generation.
I love third generation.
Southern Cross. I've always been meh.
It's more story based. I've always felt Southern Cross was more story based, and I never liked Dana.
Wasn't that.
I never liked Dana. Oh, the hover tanks, not impressed with them.
The Mecha wasn't really.
Although the books. They really break down the damage that those tanks can do. Like
you can't argue.
They have focused fire. Mm-hmm. I didn't know they actually had focused fire. Like they had you can take scatter shots, and then you can take one big fucking rail shot, and it does 2d6 mega damage. Mm-hmm. I was like, dude, these tanks are nasty. Like,
as long as it was in the show for like a hot second, they
incorporated it.
So
they did a great job.
The only error I ever saw with this game is in the book. It tells you that the Gatling gun doesn't fire in jet mode. That's not true. Throughout the whole show, it fires in jet mode. You see them,
right? Exactly.
That's the main gun for the ship.
It would make sense because it's based after an F-14 Tomcat, and one of the things the Tomcat had was that front end barrel.
If you play the game, just change that rule. Other than that, it was a pretty perfect game out of the box.
Yes.
Because I remember I used to argue with that. I'm like, I'm seeing, look, he's shooting out of that gun. It's in jet mode, and it's like, it's not in the rules. I was like, argh! So I'm like flying around shooting with a nose laser that does like, I don't know what it is, 46.
No, it is. It is one of those things, and it's. I bet you the second edition they fixed that.
They did correct it.
Because
they brought it up.
Right.
I'm sad I didn't grab the second edition, but
But you know what? All you need to do is just go online and find the revised rules and just incorporate them.
The Rift's mega damage rules are perfect to incorporate into this. And obviously if you get the after the bomb game, it's got the same kind of mutant rules as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so you could easily take from that. Because after the bomb was a supplement for this game for the longest time until they lost the
and then
Ninja
the other
Turtle
thing
license,
is like a lot of people, this is another idea for you comic book people, and I'm not just talking TMNT, I'm talking like Batman. If you wanted to revisit the old school, the Dark Knight series when Batman was retired and came out of retired and started fighting those mutants, you could do that, man. You could literally
take the Heroes Unlimited. And you can make your own Batman. You can use the mutant rules. I think there's some mutant rules in Heroes Unlimited. And we never really got into that game.
Right.
I don't know why. We tried playing Marvel. I thought that system was terrible.
The Marvel system was absolutely horrible. Yeah. Oh, my God. The only thing they had was a license. Yeah. Licensed to characters. And they had great art. Because Jim Lee did a lot of the art.
Yeah. A lot of those games, it's like the biggest reason to grab them is because the art is so fantastic.
Right. No, exactly. Or like the bonuses that they threw in there.
Even if you don't like playing these games, like
oh my God, just try it. Like find 4 buddies, one of you guys be the GM, and just run something.
Just try it.
Try it, dude. Because I guarantee you'll love the system. This is the one thing that I've said from day one. Palladium knocks it out of the park. Their D20 system is far superior than D&D. Far superior.
I agree.
The way
some would disagree, but I agree.
No,
I think it is
because it's essentially when you play D&D, it is me rolling against you, and that's it. It's me rolling against your armor. It's simplified, and it's. I don't want to use the term vanilla, but it's very vanilla. It's I roll. If I don't hit that, I miss. With Palladium, it's okay. According to my talents, my strike is coming true to you. Now, my talents are going to try to deflect that. Oh, shit. Now it goes through.
And it's not just striking, too. I think most
dodging,
people that come
rolling
from D&D who try Palladium and they don't like it, it's because D&D is pretty straightforward, roll to hit. Whereas Palladium is, you don't just have to hit. You can disarm. You can stun. You can, you have all these other weapons.
You can
in your
flip
arsenal,
behind somebody and shit like that. You have the acrobatic skills. You have the percentages, and it's all right there.
Because I was honestly just the other day, I was refreshing my Palladium fantasy knowledge because there's been interest. So I'm like, okay, I'll plot something, see what happens. And I was just refreshing myself on the combat, and I'm just going line for line for line. I'm just like, wow, there's like all this stuff characters can do in this game.
Yeah.
They don't often do because they're kind of straightforward. Oh, I swing my sword.
Right. Or unless in D&D you have the feats and the abilities.
Yeah.
Once your abilities run out, that's it. With the Palladium system, it's all about the imagination. It's literally what I'll bring him up again, Jeremy. Old fucking game guy.
One guy
just showed up for like 2 of our adventures, and he just didn't last. But I will say this: he must have just
he was creative.
He must have watched a shit out of some anime, because he would be like, and I think it was Robotech. We were doing a Robotech campaign.
Yeah, I think so.
We were, because
jumped in for that.
Right,
and he was a Rifts player.
Right, and he had one of the Cyclones.
Yep.
And he decided to do a backflip. Remember, he was like, I do a backflip off the thing and crick a fucking and a blick a block. And I'm like, okay, well, acrobatics and cyclone mech and blah, blah, blah. And it's all there. It's whatever he told me. I was like, there. You know the percentages, roll it. And my God, he passed it.
Pulled it off, got the strike roll.
And I think even critted or some shit like that. And it's just like, but the point being is it's there. Is the ability in there in D&D? Yeah, it is.
It is, but they seem like every edition they strip it down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if I turn around and but it doesn't even make it easy though. See, my point is, say Jeremy does the same thing in D&D. Now I got to be like looking at his minuscule stat line of abilities.
His feats.
And it's only this. There's only this many abilities, and then you got to think, okay, well, I know that goes under acrobatics. What would that be under? Hold on. That's not under horse riding. You know what I'm saying? So then as a DM, you got to be like, okay, well, I guess give me a difficulty of, I don't know, 14. But then is that too easy? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. With this, the stats are there. With this, it's out there.
It's beautiful, too, because as your character progresses, especially if you are doing the martial arts, as you go up in levels, it's give you more and more abilities.
And it depends what martial arts. I remember
criticals on 18
you had
after
Kung
a
Fu,
while.
you had ninjutsu, you had just the hand-to-hand, the basic hand-to-hand.
Or the commando,
the
military,
commando one.
assassin.
Yeah,
as your character gets better, it tells you can do this now, you can do that now, you can do that now.
And it adds.
Right, and obviously a lot of people complain that's a lot to keep track of. It is, but I think it makes a better game.
But I'll tell you what, I think if you incorporate the miniatures into this system.
Oh, God, if we had the miniatures.
It takes everything away, dude. It literally becomes the perfect game. I mean, that's the hardest thing. In Palladium is and in D&D. Explaining where your character is in retrospect to the environment and to the enemies on the field. What miniatures does is it allows you to take that away. You take that away. As soon as that room is built, I can look as a player and go, okay, I'm 5 squares away from him, and this guy needs my help because he's getting surrounded, but he's 6 squares, so you can be thinking of this shit ahead of time. Yeah. The old ways, it would have to be your turn. And then you look at the DM and you say,
where?
Okay, what am I looking at? Okay, here we go. From where you are.
It was like playing one of those old text-based adventures where you're like, look at door. And it describes a door.
And it describes a door, yes.
And then it's like open door. But, yeah. I mean, honestly, with this game, too, one of the things I always love, so, like, obviously it has the animal stats, and
they got some great ideas in here,
like,
too, man.
some of the original art here, like this mutant dogs and
the
stuff
bulldog.
like that.
Yeah, that guy looks really cool.
But one thing, each animal has its own, like, natural abilities, too, which help you out, and they use what's
like
called...
you think something small like a rabbit would be, like, cheese, but no, it's got, like, super really jump, fast, and it's super fast,
And so... each of these have like bio-E points, they call them. So basically you get a certain number of bio-E points and determines how much of human you are.
Oh, right? That's right. Yep.
So, because remember in the comic, it's animals that turn into like creatures versus in the show was like
human
back and forth.
Right,
so like Splinter was always a rat, but in the show he was a person.
He was a human that turned into a rat, right?
But the bio-E points, like you can spend them a certain way. So, like...
which was a really good idea, too, by the way.
So, like, your hands, I only want partial mutation for that, but I want full mutation for being, biped, standing on your feet and everything. I want full speech, or you could play it up a little bit. I'll spend partial speech, so you're, like, you're speaking a broken language and stuff.
Right.
Which would be really cool.
Be like the Dinobots.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there was in the TMNT cartoon, there was one of those, too. He spoke kind of broken.
I think so. I can't.
It was like I forget what it was, like a little weasel or some shit like that.
Know, something like that. But most games I don't mess with this too much, but I really think in this particular game in Ninja Turtles, the psychosis table makes a more interesting game.
I like that because it makes it easier to incorporate fear. It makes it easier to incorporate a very strong enemy, because if that enemy whoops your ass a lot, it gets deep into your psychosis. And the psychosis, if I remember right, gives you the negatives to your rolls. It gives you the negatives to your percentages. Yeah, exactly.
So like adding the psychosis to your character. So like, in stressful situations, my weasel goes insane kind of thing.
Right.
I just think just considering the the subject of the game, like the mutations and stuff, is going to mess with your mind.
And like I said, I mean, even like just story mode, you got like, I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. Recovery from damage. Like literally, it shows you like how long it'll take, the roll percentage, minor bruises and lacerations, like minus 2 to speed and -1 to dodge. Like it literally gives you the information here. So like as a GM,
that's why I've always felt this system's a little more realistic.
This system is also, I feel, more GM/DM friendly. As a DM in the Wizards world, it's Wizards of the Coast. In the Wizards world, it's really hard to be a DM and really get everything your first time through. Your first campaign,
you're talking 2 books worth of information,
is going to be a disaster.
Because even as
your first adventure is going to be so hard on your soul.
Well, that's why you should really use a starter set.
Yeah. He's right. Use
a starter set. You know, it's stripped down. It's got an adventure for you to try out, get your feet wet.
Yeah, just to see if you like it. But even those of you who have been a player for 10, 15 years and want to step up and be a GM, DM it's not,
because even as
it's not the best system to.
Even as a dungeon master, you got to read the player's guide too, because you
got to know what you're up against.
Right.
Every time you guys get a level, I have to see what you guys are getting, because if I just throw this little crap shoot out at you guys, and with your new abilities, you each one use one of your abilities each, and then boom, in one round everything's dead. How's that help me? That's
and I can't promote Palladium enough. You learn one of these games,
you know them all.
I won't say you know them all, but you could easily jump from one to the other.
Right, and like I
said,
each game has in it.
Yeah, each game has their own addition to it. Like obviously, this has the mutants.
Mm-hmm.
This is like an introduction to mega damage because you're wearing mecha, which is essentially his big armor. Ninjas and Super Spies has a lot more skills and martial arts.
Say you really want to get crazy and you want to incorporate this into this world. Have mutants flying Veritex. You could do this, man. Like you could technically do this. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be just some crazy ass fucking shit.
With all the stuff going on right now, you got them doing the Crisis of Infinite Earths right now. You got Marvel touching on the multiverse. You could really take a Palladium system and have this
great fucking world, man.
Have this ley line split, and all of a sudden these different parts of the whole system come in, and you can have superheroes and Palladium fantasy and stuff, and you can really have some fun with it.
And like I said, there's every book available. All you have to do is have that book, and then you can incorporate this into any way you want. We can't speak high enough on. Like I said, this was what introduced us.
This got
to
us
Palladium.
going.
This made us love us. This made us love the system.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the most perfect system at the time. When we started playing this, and we did play Robotech more. I'm not going to lie. We threw a lot of time into Robotech, but by the time we got to TMNT, we knew the Palladium system so well, and it was so embedded in our heads that we enjoyed this to the fullest. And then he brought the Ninjas and Super Spies in.
That was great.
And it only was I think we only got 3 adventures or 4 adventures, I think.
It was a few.
It was a few, but it was a great campaign. So much fun. Probably, once again, one of the best moments, Rob, again, jumping from a building without ever putting...
Well, he tied the rope around
himself.
His waist. This is word for word what he said to me. I tied the rope around my waist. I lower the rope over the building, and I jump. And I even asked him, "You sure?" And he survived.
He did.
Because
he made an Arnold Schwarzenegger guy.
Well, STC, you can do save versus
STC
death.
of 185.
Yeah, it's only a human character with mega damage.
He did. You're right. Did he punch for 1 mega damage because he had a cybernetic arm or some shit like that?
No, they don't have mega damage in Ninja Super Spies, but it was up there.
It was he could pop somebody's head.
Yeah, that and the list of weapons, and I'm like, how are you carrying this around?
Yes. I was like, he's like Cable. This shit just fucking folds out.
He was Cable before Cable was a thing. Fun times.
No, but this system...
I'd do that game more often if it wasn't takes such a long process to make characters.
man.
That's my only criticism of Palladium is Ninjas and Super Spies takes forever.
But it is. The characters are so in depth. You know what I'm saying? Whereas what we're talking about with TMNT, the biggest thing that you had is choosing your animal and then choosing the bios from there, your bio-E's. You know what I'm saying?
And then choosing how far you want your mutation to be.
And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you can choose your background a little bit so you get some skills and get that. And then, boom, you're onto the world. Ninjas and Super Spies, not only are you an operative, you have a background, you have training. So whereas you pick skills, right? I was going to say, whereas in this one, there's just skills and you pick the skills. With this one, whatever operative you pick, you get packages. And then each package is like a set of skills. And then the next package is another set of skills. And then the next package is another set of skills.
And then every time you go up a level, you have to update every single one of those. Like I used to tell people, like, hey,
when it was like 3%.
Yeah, I was like, when you guys write your skill down, write down how much you get per level because it's a pain in the ass to look all that stuff again.
It is.
You know,
it is. And they actually do put the slash. If you see that in the character sheets, they have the percentage, and it's what you get your base, and then the what you get every level.
Most people don't write that part down. They just write down their base skill. That's why I used to say write that down so you remember, because it's gonna be a pain in the neck.
Oh, absolutely.
But once you do get the characters done, the game is great.
Oh,
and the stuff you can do, like
it's smooth, man.
The 18-wheeler you guys built.
Oh, we built that. Show was great, man.
And
the Beast.
I let you guys get to build your own organization. You rolled that up.
Yep.
I mean, it was a good time.
No, it was.
Someday I'll dust that off again. Maybe I'll make characters ahead of time. Be like,
because Alan was just getting into role playing at that point. You know what I'm saying? This was before he made his paladin in D&D. This was before Lance. You know what I'm saying? So he was a very shy game player at this point. Who else did we have? It was me, Rob, Alan, Max, and Brandon. Right? Was Brandon in it too?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He played Ninjas and Super Spies.
He did. Yes. Because we had 5 people on our team. We had 5 people in our squad, and Brandon was
the original basement crew.
And Brandon was like a tri-operative. Wasn't it?
Yep.
He was working for them, but working for us, but working for them.
And he did Thai kickboxing.
That's right,
because he had that one kick he kept using that
that
goes right to your hit points.
Yes.
So another cool thing about these games,
kick,
like the Thai kickboxing had shin kick that skipped your SDC and went right to your hit points.
Yeah. So if you had like only 8 hit points, you could knock your fucking ass out.
You could have 100 SDC and 8 hit points and like just
knock your block off.
Internal bleeding, you're dead.
Yep.
It was like, wow.
No,
I remember I had to do a double take, like, get out. And I'm like, reading it, I'm like,
I was like, yeah, he fucking found that shit, dude.
Yeah.
And even like, and going back to the fantasy, which you're going to be bringing back, fantasy, they do a great job. Because the magic system, they got to incorporate the mega damage into that set, so it's.
I like how Palladium does their magic now. Like, it used to confuse me, but now that I really spend more time with it and I'm a little older.
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? I think I like this better.
I liked it
having
because I made a
set of PPE that you spend versus.
Love that. I love that.
I remember the
and then they had
second
like
edition
magic
system.
Potions. Remember, you could take those and it would restore some PP.
Yeah, you could restore, or you could actually your party. Because everybody has PPP. Your party can actually donate some of theirs.
Put it into the pool, yes.
Willingly. It had to be willingly because you can't steal it.
Right.
And so you'd be like, dude, we're surrounded by monsters. I'm out of PPE. You'd be like, all right, take ours. And you do the ritual. You take their PPE. And then you can unleash the fury.
Which is fucking...
Which is good because in a way that builds teamwork.
Brings back teamwork. Right, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah. I really feel like D&D makes a lot of heroes. Mm-hmm. And even in this group that we have now, you guys saw the episode 3. Go back and watch it, please. That's our group. We gave you the group. This is what they chose to be. You're talking 2 fighters, 2 rangers, 1 cleric, a bard, and a fucking warlock.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We never. Here's the thing: like we weren't like.
And before Jim died, that was 3 rangers.
Yeah, we weren't we're not refined, so we never forced people to take.
I don't. As a DM, I never do. You want to play what you want to play. You know what I'm saying? I do have a new person coming in to the group.
Oh, I can't wait, actually.
And he's actually going to choose a rogue. And he asked me, he was like, what does the party need? And I was like, dude, Pete.
Just play what you want.
Play what you want to play.
We'll make it work.
He was like, no, but what do they need? And I was like, I mean, honestly, they've been begging for a rogue. I said I gave him a chance, but they actually took a summoner instead of a rogue. So, we'll see how that works. And he's like, no, I love playing rogues. I just never get a chance to really do rogues because everybody picks rogues. And I'm like, No, actually, everybody picked fighters and Rangers.
Fighting. This is my first Ranger I've ever played. There's no reason
I can say that. Yeah, I can say that.
Because I'm usually I'm not a big Magic user type. Although I did like the Sword Mage when they had that.
I don't know what happened to that one. That was a good idea.
Well, it was a it's like Forgotten Realms class, and they kind of like got rid of a lot of.
It's almost like a red mage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I got a kick out of that character a lot because I like the idea of charging a weapon. Mm-hmm. You know. And I was like, dude, this makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
And you can still fight. So, but this is my first real Ranger, I think, because in Ravenloft, I think I played a rogue, didn't I?
Yes. Yes.
Because I was the vampire hunter.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because you let me play a vampire, which was very nice of you.
Oh, I always. Hey, you guys pull it off, man. It's just like Jake doing the Minotaur before the Minotaur became a class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to do a Minotaur. I'm like, no problem, dude. We can work it out. You know what I'm saying? You just can have less hit points at first than the actual monster.
I mean, if you can really make that work, you can.
It makes it more enjoyable. Yeah, and more enjoyable.
Because in Palladium Fantasy, for example, they have all these classes, and there's some like the Alchemist. In big letters, it says not recommended as player character. And I'm like, okay, why? And then I'm reading about it. Almost everything magical revolves around the alchemist. The alchemist makes this stuff. And I'm like, all right, now I can see it. If players have an alchemist, everyone's going to be like, make me this, make me that, make me this. And it's like, okay, get the stuff.
I'm never going to go on an adventure because I'll be fucking making shit for you motherfuckers all day long.
It's just like, okay, we're going to go here. We're going to mine this. We're going to grab that. We're going to make this. Game's over.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody want to play Minecraft? The TV's over there. We're trying to do a freaking adventure here.
Go get your diamond sword on your own time. Yeah.
That's how we do this, man.
Anyway, but dude, like seriously,
that was a good call with the 5-star with the shout out to the TMNT. Thank you for the rating, also.
Yeah, this is a little reward for our very first review. We're not saying we're buying reviews by doing this, but it was a 5-star review. Really appreciate you liking the content. We do love this game.
No, absolutely.
This is one of the OG.
And write down in the comments if you guys have ever played this. Hit us with your favorite moment. I'll have to say, one of my favorite characters that I ended up making, I remember the Wolverine guy that I had. I mean, basic, obviously, it was based off of Wolverine. But, man, it was probably the coolest not played death that I've ever had as a character. And when you have a moment where you actually do make, like, say, a Wolverine type character or a Batman type character, this deep, edgelord character, and he goes down. Yeah, pretty much that was him, but he was
Wolverine.
Yep. But I gave him the claws and I gave him the whole 9 yards, and he was feral as fuck. But he went down in a blaze of glory, and the way that Ed took me out and took me down, it was a hero's death, man. And it was just such a cool way to go. And I think I let everybody didn't everybody escape or some shit like that? I took fucking 4 or 5 guys out. Yeah, but it was to this day, it's still one of my favorite deaths. You don't ever want to see your character die ever. You know what I'm saying? Never. It's not fun. No. But
especially if you've played them a long time, you invested. I've had characters that only lasted 1 game,
right?
But it's like I'm not attached.
You're not
to it
you're not vested in it
if
yet.
they don't last more than 1 game, I don't like them at that point. I'm like, oh, this was a fail,
right?
Usually I'm like, this is a fail. I rolled this bad, or I don't know how to play this. You take it that way,
right?
There might be some classes you're just not good at,
and you just
not a fan of Magic users,
and that's fine. Yeah,
I think too what kind of soured me on Magic users was 2nd edition.
Oh, the whole
memorizing,
and if you never—that's the other thing. If you never used it, or there was never a chance to have it used, but you had a
50 Cobalt show up. Yeah. All right, Magic Missile. Did you memorize it?
No.
And then I'd be like, dude, that's like a common attack.
Hold on, I got smoke.
That's a common attack weapon. I think I'm going to remember how to use it.
Well, now it's in their repertoire all the time. It's it's an instant.
Yeah.
So that's...
it's funny.
It's like Eldritch Blast.
And I bring up this story all the time because I went to when there were real bookstores in the world. And
Walden Books.
R.A. Salvatore is signing books. And
that was so great, yes.
Yeah, and someone asked him about Magic. And even he said, I don't like their Magic system. It doesn't make sense because I can't picture in my head...
Oops.
The game is stronger than this.
It is.
But I can't picture in my head all these Magic
users. We got to get one of those fold back things.
I know. We're going to get some.
Just put them like this.
And you can help us get that by contributing.
Good blow.
But yeah, he said I don't picture the magic user just staying up all night memorizing these spells.
No, because the whole idea of magic is I like the way played. It comes from the earth. It comes from these veins,
these lines of power,
right?
And your PPE,
and you're literally
channels
sucking it up from. It's like Final Fantasy the mana. Remember Secret of Mana, right? Mana,
maybe.
It was a 2-player one. One of them was that little sprite, and you run around together. I think it was a Secret of Mana. But the whole idea was the magic came from the mana tree, and it came from the idea of magic coming from the inside. It's just that's how I've always looked at it.
And speaking of what, we should bring up there's psionics in this game.
Yes.
First
time ever too.
I no, they've done it before. We just didn't play it. It's played in fantasy. At that point, we hadn't played the fantasy.
But
game.
I thought it. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Psionics is something any character I think can get. You roll to see. If you have it. I think it might even be in Robotech.
As a matter of fact, and they probably came up with that because remember, second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons came out with the same idea. It was the most OP fucking handbook ever, the Psionics handbook, and it was the same thing. You didn't have necessarily a psionic character. What you would do is you would roll a character and then you'd roll to see if you'd get psionics.
Yes.
And then like in a rarity, if you rolled a 20,
it was a small percentage.
Right.
So.
But if you got the high percentage, it was like
I think Rob always got somehow.
No. It wasn't Rob. Remember, it was Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Ryan that played with us for a little bit. He ended up rolling because he had it was a maid. No, it was a sword fighter. He was like a swashbuckler or some weird shit like that. And he rolled a perfect on psionics. So according to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons psionics books, he was a full swashbuckler, full psionicist. And it was like the powers he had from the psionic, dude.
I'm always fuzzy on psionics. There have been times like actually in Palladium Fantasy, I actually told everybody I'm not doing psionics in this game.
Yes.
I'm just telling you right now. And, everyone be like, oh, I'm like, I don't like the idea that you're a fighter, but you're still using magic, sort of.
Right.
So I was like, I don't want psionics in this game. Psionics made sense in this game if you factor in the mutation. It kind of made sense in Robotech 2 because some characters in the show had it.
Yes.
Or
something thereof.
Right. In Palladium Fantasy, I always kind of felt that it's a fantasy game. I think magic should be the force that drives it.
Right. Unless there's no magic. If there's no magic,
maybe,
then you can bring this whole psionic into the world type thing.
And then if you roll like a different, a type of magic user, because there's many different magic users in Palladium, because that's another thing I love about the Palladium is the magic users.
He was fun.
Yeah, the magic users focus on their magic. Warlock, enchanter, sorcerer.
Yes.
It's been a while. I'm probably screwing them up, but I didn't think the idea of a magic user also having psionics. Now you are talking OP in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't think that's fun for anybody. So there were times where
it's not fun for the DM or the GM at this point because now you have to make enemies to match that one character.
Yes.
But the rest of the team isn't like that one character. So when that one member goes to attack this monster and it can't hit him, they get frustrated. And then they're just looking around. Go ahead, Superman, hit him.
And then you counter with more OP monsters.
You have to.
They're mad.
Yeah, and you have to at this point.
It's like we were cleaning house last game, and now we're like getting our ass kicked. And I'm like, well,
sorry, man. You have Superman on your fucking team now. What do you want?
I had to.
Guy's using fucking lasers, fucking flying out of his butthole. I can't help you. What the hell do you want from me, guys?
Yeah. So I mean, I've never been a fan of psionics, but next time I run these games, nothing's off the table.
Hey, but go ahead, shoot us in the comics. Do you love them? Tell us why. Has it been like a part of your campaign? And tell us how you incorporate it. That would be another. I'd love to hear how somebody successfully incorporated it into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you what, I failed. Because Ryan, like I said, he was OP. He was a swashbuckler, and he could just blow. So if he was like facing somebody, he could face him, do all his swordy shit, right? Mm-hmm. And then if there's a guy over here, he could mind blast that guy. So he literally was the best of both worlds, and it was very hard as a DM to counteract that.
If I do bring him back, those roles got to be in public in front of everybody.
Yes,
I've already decided because I think there's too much room for abuse with that.
I agree.
And like I said, it's very easy to OP a character that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, like with the Dead Ring game, there's no psionics in it.
It makes sense though, because the disease of the world and everything coming through there, you're pretty much, it's like the world is re-cleansing itself. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's funny you mentioned that without getting into too many details, because I've been holding a lot of secrecy with the guys.
Yes.
I want them to really.
This is going to be the campaign that he's running.
I want these guys to figure everything out themselves,
like we should.
Which is why I was like, when everyone's like, "Oh, I just need to look at the book," I'm like, no. I've copied everything. I made photocopies of everything for my own personal use. I made photocopies of what you need to make the character and handed them out. I'm like, that's all you need. Mm-hmm. And that's what Rob's like, but I like reading the book.
We'll probably actually throw a little video about us rolling up the characters and stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
We'll get some more footage. I'm actually planning a series of videos. I'm going to do some how-to videos of how to play the base system for Palladium.
That'd be cool.
So we'll do more stuff other than just the podcast and stuff. I know we've been slacking on some of the Instagram content, which the support on Instagram has been fabulous, guys.
Incredible.
And we're meeting all kinds of great people on there.
The support on Twitter too, guys. Thank you for the shares and for the retweets. A
lot of great
Facebook
writers,
we've
artists.
been getting. The artists, you guys have been fantastic, man. I really appreciate it.
Honestly, since I kind of switched focus on my Twitter, the people that I've been seeing in my feed is so
positive, man. Absolutely. I love that word. That's positivity is absolutely great. It makes you want to invest more into the content that you're bringing.
Because I was like, there's too much frustration in the world. I'm not adding any more to my Twitter.
God, dude, you're so right.
So I'm really happy that we threw ourselves into this community and stuff like that.
I'm really happy we threw ourselves into this. We've been talking about it for so long, and now here we are in fourth. This is our fourth episode.
Honestly, the launch has been great. The traction's been great, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, and the feedback, the comments, hit us with it, man. We love breaking down stuff like this for you. We love giving you our stories of what made us buy these, or how well it worked for us, or some of our favorite freaking moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many moments that just redefine you as a gamer and as a gaming platform. But so why don't you tell these guys where they can find us?
Well, you can always find us.
We're on all kinds of places
everywhere
now.
We're everywhere, but you can always find us at basementquest.com.
That's our home,
and that'll lead you.
That's our place
everywhere. The podcast is available on Apple, Google,
and make sure the Apple reviews. That's big now. Now that we're on Apple reviews, if you guys have a way to leave us an I don't know why, and actually you'll see a lot of podcasts actually say the same thing I'm about to say. We don't know why Apple reviews are so important.
Because that's the big.
It's got to be the big,
That's the big aggregator.
It's the big, it's the big platform.
I wish Google and stuff had more reviews, but we're also on Spotify. Mm-hmm. We're actually also on iHeartRadio,
which is cool.
So if you have an Alexa device and you just ask Alexa to play the latest Basement Quest, the podcast,
so you would just say, Alexa, play the latest Basement Quest podcast.
And boom, we'll be there.
And she'll throw it on there, and she'll find it from iHeartRadio.
We're also on Overcast,
Anchor FM.
Anchor FM.
That was our first. That was our anchor.
That's our hosting. But if you go to basementquest.com, you'll find us. Everything's there. Obviously, we are affiliates with Amazon, so anytime you shop
gaming
on
tables.
Amazon. Yes, the table of ultimate gaming,
which is beautiful.
If you use code BasementQuest50 at checkout,
$50 off.
You'll get $50 off. Just so we know we get there, we do get a small commission for that to help support the show, and you get a fantastic table. Anytime you need to buy some RPG stuff from Drive Through RPG, we're affiliate there.
Let us know what you pick up too. I'm so curious.
If you go to
I'm nosy.
If you go to anchor.fm/Basement Quest, you can also just contribute directly 99 cents, I think $4.99, $9.99 a month.
That would be awesome.
Just to help us out.
Just to give us
like it. But
throw us in there, and all we're going to do is just add it right to the show. Ed's been doing a great job with some of this stuff.
Get more books, get more stuff.
We're going to get some more videos out there.
Games.
Yep. I got the Heroic Holodeck main event coming up. I'm down to about 5 people, 5 fights. I'm going to throw them in front of Ed and see which one he likes. And we're going to start that. And like I said, I figure by April, we're going to have our first ever Heroic Holodeck main event. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The miniatures are going to get painted. They're going to be painted on on YouTube. They're going to be right there. Like I said, the specific terrain piece will be built. I'll show you how I'm doing it, how I painted it. We'll show you how we're doing this, and we will physically do this whole show, and we'll break it down for you. I'm excited. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. We got so much in store for you guys. We really do.
We're real excited.
So
we're having so much fun.
Donate to us. Leave us them comments. Leave us them reviews on iTunes.
Thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell on
hit
YouTube
the bell,
if you're watching us.
And it's great because last night my phone did it to me at midnight. Ding! I heard it. I was like, "This is awesome, man." that was episode 4 right there. This is awesome. But guys, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough for all the love that we've been getting. This last week was great. Ed showed me some of the retweets. I gave him some of the retweets that I was getting. Just puts a smile on our face. It just lets us know that we're giving you some quality content that we think that you like, and we're going to continue doing it, man. And thank you for that 5-star review, and we hope that you enjoyed our review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Palladium system, as well as a little sneak peek of our favorite beginner that brought us into it.
These games are really what got us into everything.
Exactly.
Obviously, Dungeons and Dragons we played first, but this opened up our brains to more game systems.
This made us because I was a GM before I was a DM. I did this before I did D&D. So
that's true. Actually,
this opened up my eyes to becoming more than a player. You know what I'm saying? And this system, like I said, it makes it so easy, dude. It really does. If you're scared of the Wizards of the Coast system, which absolutely can be, start here. I'm telling you, you'll love it.
And if you find these books in your local store, grab them. They're
out
of print.
Yes. If you find them on Amazon or eBay, grab them. They're a steal, people. You're going to love them.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Eddie.
I'm Mike.
And we will see you next time.
We love you guys.